Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Amy and this is Thrift Adventure. I'm a full-time reseller, primarily on the Poshmark app, but I do dabble on other online platforms and I sell locally. I'll be doing a ship with me video today, and in these videos I go day to day and I share the different items that I'm shipping out. So you want to be sure to watch all the way to the end because I always have interesting and unique items, and hopefully you can learn some new things to keep your eyes out for when you're out thrifting. So let's get started. The first item sold on Cherish.com, which is a site that you can sell home decor and furniture. It is spelled like a chair, Chairish. I do pretty well on that site if you haven't watched my videos before. So it's just a pair of salad tongs that sold. They are wood with this metal handle. I think that these are by that brand Nambe, N-A-M-B-E, I think is what it is. And some of their pieces can be collectible and have a good resale value, but these were not marked, so I just put attributed to Nambe. They ended up selling for $35. I did have these listed for $59, and the buyer offered me that $35. I just decided to go ahead and accept it because it's just a pair of salad tongs. So I had only paid $2 for these. Cherish charges a 22% seller's fee. So after their fee and my cost of goods, that made my profit $25.96. I'm going to package these up off camera just because it'll take a little bit more time. So I do typically have a little bit higher dollar sales on Cherish, but every little bit counts, so I'm not going to complain. I have a big variety of stuff today: jewelry, accessories, shoes, clothing, bags, all sorts of stuff. It was a pretty great weekend. If you watched last week's video, I started sending out offers on every single item in my closet, up to 40% off my list price, and that really got me a lot of sales last week the last couple days of last week and then through the weekend. So I have 13 things to ship out today. I'm pretty excited about that. Some things sold for a little bit less than I originally hoped for, but I'm still overall happy with what everything sold for. The first item that sold is this pair of kind of maybe 90s Y2K celestial earrings. And I think these possibly could be handmade. I just thought they were fun and funky. They were actually given to me, so I had no investment in them, which is great. They sold for $16. Like I said, I paid $0. So after Poshmark fees, I think these sold, I think almost everything sold with discounted shipping. So that is included in my profit, or deducted from my profit. So my total profit was $10.78. That is just fine with me, especially for something that I got for free. I do have some lower dollar sales than I normally do because, like I said, I was sending out those aggressive offers, and I am motivated to move out some inventory, old and new. These weren't really listed that long, but I really thought $16 was pretty much in line with what I could expect to get for those earrings. Okay, so the next item that sold is a pair of Chevrolet cufflinks, and I don't always pick up cufflinks, but I thought these were pretty cool. If I do pick them up, I won't pay more than $1 unless they're real gold or there's some good designer name brand. Cufflinks just don't really sell very well for me. I know some people are able to sell them pretty well, but they're just typically a really slow seller for me. These, however, did not take a super long time to sell, in the range of a month, I think. And the only reason I picked these up was because I got these on Dollar Day at that sale that my one of the estate sale companies does dollar day, the last day of the sale. So I will go back and pick up jewelry and clothes and other things that I, wouldn't normally pick up unless they are a dollar. Those also sold, did I say they sold for $19? So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $12.18. Again, not a huge profit, but for a $1 investment, I am not going to complain at all. And they sold relatively quickly. So the next item it sold is this gold necklace and matching bracelet, and they kind of have this nugget texture to them. I probably would not have typically picked this set up, but sometimes when I am at estate sales and there are a lot of people there, I will just grab from the jewelry anything that I might think might be real gold. And I thought these might be real gold, so that's why I grabbed it. So I paid $5 for it. It turned out it is not real gold, but it's still, a decent little set, and it was in good condition. So this ended up selling for $25 for the set. I paid $5. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $15. I typically like to have a little bit higher profit than that when I pay $5 for an item. But like I said, this was kind of just a grab and go, thinking that it may have been something better than it was. I'm not going to complain about turning $5 into a $25 sale at all. I was also, like I keep saying, I was pretty motivated to accept offers and get my sales momentum going, because if you've been watching my videos, my sales have been so slow, and I really want to get back in the favor of the algorithm if possible. Let's see. I'm going to put this in a padded flat rate envelope. That is where what I normally use for most of my jewelry. Only one belt sale out of 13 sales, which is kind of surprising since I typically sell so many belts. But it's just this black leather belt, and it kind of has this textured detail on there. I picked this up just because it was only $1. It was leather. And then when let's see, I think it was marked with something. No, I don't know. For some reason, I did a little bit more research on it and discovered that it may have been used, it may be like what law enforcement officers wear as belts. I don't really, I've had it for a while. I don't really remember where I got that, but I had that in my listing title. And I seriously doubt I would have put that in there if I hadn't have done any research. I hope you guys can't hear that. We've been having super loud thunder, a little bit of lightning, and heavy rain. And it is August 7th. So typically it's still really hot here, but it is kind of nice to have a reprieve from all the hot weather. Okay, so this sold for $28 with discounted shipping. I paid $1 after Posh fees and my cost of goods. That made my profit $19.38. I think that is great. For my larger belts, I use the box, let's see, 1096L. It's just slightly larger than the small flat rate box. It works just perfectly for those kind of wider men's belts. For my thinner belts, I use the small flat rate box. Okay, the next item that sold is this pair of vintage embroidered cowboy boots. They also have this kind of reverse embossing, debossing, whatever they call it. These did have quite a bit of wear, some marks, loose threads, all the stuff. So I did end up accepting a lower offer of $30 for these because these were quite cool, but they just weren't in the best condition and they had been listed for a long time. So when this buyer offered me $30, I decided to just go ahead and accept it. I had only paid $1 for these at an estate sale. That's the other reason that I decided to accept that $30. I have a lot of shoes. My rack is overflowing onto the floor, so I am motivated to kind of clear that out. I don't like to have more inventory than my racks can hold. And if something's been hanging around for a long time, I don't really like having stale inventory either. Well, maybe that's not true. I don't mind waiting sometimes. Okay, anyways, they sold for $30. I paid $1 after posh fees and my cost of goods. That made my profit $23. Still a nice little profit for a $1 investment. Typically for my cowboy boots, I use the large squarish box number 7, and I just lightly bend them in the middle and shimmy them down. That has always worked well for me. The next item it sold is a pretty great sale. This is a Hobo brand leather tote bag, and I typically do well with Hobo. It has a pretty high retail value. Also, it has a pretty good following. If you have ever had one of these bags, you'll know that they're a very nice quality. The leather is super nice. They hold up really well. They have timeless styles. So this ended up selling for $65. I paid up a little bit for this. I paid $12 for it because I do know that I usually get good prices for Hobo. It doesn't typically sell right away for me though, for high prices. I do have to wait a little bit to get those better prices. So after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $37.98. I have so many boxes today, I'm having to reach around. So I think I'm going to use the box number 7 for that purse too. We'll just have to see. The next item that sold is this fun, funky, vintage suede fringe purse. I just thought this was really cute. This did not sell for as much as I originally hoped or thought it would, but it was at the bottom of my purse, or the back of my purse storage area. I had it listed for a long time. So this buyer came in, they started out by offering me 15, and I counteroffered to 20 something, and they came back at 18. I just decided to go ahead and accept that because, like I said, it had been listed for a while and I was tired of looking at it. So it sold for 18. I did pay $5 for this because I anticipated it selling for more, but I still made a profit of $9.40. Profit is profit, and sometimes you just have to take what you can get and let go of what your expectations were for an item. Let's see, I might put that in something different, but okay, the next item is also a pretty good sale. This is an Arc'teryx fleece jacket, and you want to keep your eyes out for this brand if you're not familiar with it. It has this little kind of frog embroidery logo. This brand has a very high retail value. and it does keep a good portion as a resale value. This sold for $85. I knew that these sold for good prices, so I paid a little bit more for this. I paid $10. It did take a little while to sell, but I had it priced pretty high at like, I think $129 or maybe even $149 to start out with. But I kept getting offers in this kind of range, $80, $60. So when this buyer offered me $85, I decided to go ahead and take it and move it out. Some of the shell jackets, like the Gore-Tex rain, snow type jackets, can sell for a lot. I've sold those for up to $250 or $300. So you really want to keep your eyes out for those. Okay, so it sold for $85. I paid $10 after posh fees and my cost of goods. That made my profit $58. I think that is awesome. I love having big profits like that. This was kind of an interesting piece that I just grabbed at an estate sale recently. Has really great graphics on the front and the back. Kind of a, well, definitely a Native American theme with bears and buffaloes. I picked it up because sometimes these vintage graphic t-shirts can do well. This one did. It sold for $45 and it sold quite quickly. There were some high priced comps for sale. So somebody, I think, had this priced as high as $85 or listed for $85. But the comps didn't show sold prices that high. They were, the solds were in this realm of $45. So I did list this for $85, but this buyer offered me $45, and I just decided to go ahead and take that and take the quick flip because I had only paid $1 for it. So that made my profit $35. That is really great. I would say, I forgot to show you the tag on that. I do think that that brand is still producing that shirt. That one was definitely a vintage one. I could tell by the tag. So if you do happen to find one, I think it was Liquid Blue was the brand. If you do happen to find one, take a look and see if it is a vintage tag or a newer tag, because that can impact the price. So the next item that sold is this really sweet vintage nightie and night jacket. It is a long length. I've said this over and over again. I do pick up vintage lingerie and nighties. Let's see, I think I'm gonna do this off camera. But I do pick these up if I can find them for affordable prices, because the sales prices are all over the board. Sometimes I only sell slips for $12. I've sold one of these sets in a bright color for over $100. This ended up selling for $40 for the set. It did have a couple marks on it. That's why, and they were kind of, they kind of looked like grease marks a little bit, so I did not know if they would come out. So that's why I accepted the $40 for this. I had paid $6, so after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $26. Still a nice little profit, and I do hope the buyer can get that stain out or the stains out and wear them. Okay, so the next item that sold is this pair of Nike running shoes. These sold for $35. I did pay up a little bit for these because, excuse me, because I kind of thought about keeping them, but then I tried them out and I didn't really like the way they felt when I walked in them. So I paid $10. They sold for $35, which made my profit $15.98. Still just fine profit for something that I bought for myself. And it won't sit on my closet shelf anymore. Let's see. I think I'm gonna try and put these in. Yeah, those will fit in there. Okay, and then the next item that sold is this pair of Danceco clogs. And I filmed a work with me video recently, and I haven't decided if I'm gonna upload it or not, but hopefully it comes out before this so you can see how I made these look better. If you can see there, that trim right there on all the sides, it was all worn off and it was kind of white looking. I just used leather conditioner and I used a brown Sharpie to color that in to make it look better. I did note that in the listing though. So whenever I do something like that to an item, I do indicate in the listing where to the trim that I did touch it up to make it look better. And I showed 4 pictures of it because these were otherwise in pretty good condition. They didn't have a ton of wear to the soles. I picked these up at the bins, so I only paid about $2 for them because our bins prices are very affordable. I think they're like $1.35 or something like that per pound. So did I say they sold for $25? And these actually sold pretty quickly for being flawed like that. After Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $15.98. Just fine for a $2 investment and something to talk about in one of my videos. That is all for today, but there will be at least one more clip in this video, so don't go anywhere. We're going camping and fishing again this weekend. We pretty much live on the river during the summer, so I'm so thankful that I have this job that allows me the flexibility to do that. So I will see you in a couple of days to share what else I sell. Hi again, it's Wednesday and I've got some more goodies to ship out. Overall, I'm happy with the last couple of days. I did have a sale on Cherish that was pretty great. So it is a set of 6 of these little salad or dessert plates. They're hand painted and they are signed Minton. I kind of don't think you're going to be able to see that. But I actually picked these up because I thought that it was a brand that my mom used to talk about, that it was a high-end porcelain brand, but that brand was actually Meissen, M-E-I-S-S-E-N. I'd recommend you look that up on eBay and look at some of the comps for that because you want to know that mark if you're out and about, because some of their stuff can go for a ton of money. This didn't end up being too bad of a pickup, but it wasn't a home run. I only paid $2 for the set of 6 of these plates at estate sale, I think, and they ended up selling for $89. I think that is a wonderful return on investment. Cherish charges a 22% commission, so after their fee and my cost of goods, that made my profit $69.62. That is awesome in my book. I have had these in my possession for a long time, but they'd only been listed maybe 2 or 3 months. So they sold relatively quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and put this with the other plates and package them up off camera. I don't know if I've already mentioned it in this video, but I do have a video on packaging breakables. I'll link that in the description box below if you are interested in learning more about how I package stuff. Okay, the rest of the stuff sold on Poshmark. The first item is this semi-vintage brooch by Monet. This only sold for $15, but it did have some little scuffs on the pearl. And I just don't get a ton of money for costume jewelry brooches unless it is a really high-end brand. So that's kind of what I anticipated getting when I listed this. I had only paid $1 for it. So after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $11. This was not listed very long at all. Maybe only 2 weeks. I did have it listed. What did I have it listed for? I think I listed it for $25. And this buyer started off by offering me $12, and I counter offered $18, and they counter offered $15. If I get a reasonable offer on a brooch, I'm going to take it because I have a ton of brooches and they really don't sell super well. So I am happy with what I can get for most brooches. Like I said, you know, certain brands, of course, can command higher prices, and some Monet pieces can, but I don't believe that is one of them. I think I did do a Google image search to make sure that that wasn't one of the more desirable pieces. Okay, the next item is kind of a surprise to me. It is this vintage Aztec kind of Western print belt. But I picked this up at an estate sale, and when I bought it, I didn't realize how worn it was. Do you see that? It's super worn. It's cracked. Like I said before, sometimes when I'm at estate sales, I am just grabbing things and throwing them in my bag, and I don't always notice flaws. But it was only $1 at the sale, and I still thought it was kind of a cool piece, so I decided to list it anyways, and it ended up selling for $22. It's possible that, you know, they may be able to take this to a cobbler and they can somehow, you know, add some leather to the back of it or cut it down or something. So I assume that that's what this person is going to do, is that they're going to try and somehow repair it in some way. But whatever they want to do with it, I'm happy to take the $22. Like I said, I paid $1. So after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $16.60. It's possible that that had discounted shipping on there, but that is included or deducted from my profit. The next item's a pretty great sale. I was really excited to find these. This is my first time finding real Rothy's, and these were a newer style. They're still available, or I think they were a newer color combo. They were still available on the website, and they're really, I mean, they're in excellent condition. And the Goodwill only had them priced at $9.99. So I listed them for $89, and a buyer liked them. I sent them out a 20% off offer with discounted shipping for $71, and they accepted. So that made my profit $44.78. I think that is great. These also weren't listed super long, maybe about a month or a little less. So I will definitely take that type of profit, especially when it is a quick flip. Okay, put those in there. And then the next sale is pretty fun. This is a vintage men's baby blue polyester blazer, and it has this fun kind of lining, silver tone buttons. They had, what did they have on there? Oh, just kind of a crest and a crown. So I don't always pick up men's blazers or suits, but if they are a unique color, particularly this baby blue seems to do well, and they're cheap, I will pick them up. So this was only $1 at an estate sale. I thought the color and the lining was fun, so that's why I got it. It ended up selling for $30. I think that's just fine. I have sold, I think it was a full suit in baby blue before. And so when I'm listing these, you know, I put keywords like 60s, 70s, polyester, leisure suit, retro, business casual, blazer, sport coat, suit coat, jacket, all of the keywords. And I think this was only listed 4 to 6 weeks. So I am thrilled that that sold that quickly. So after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $23. Not a crazy high profit, but really a great return for a $1 investment. And another reseller had already been in the closet going through all this stuff for a while before I got to it. So like I said, we are going camping and on the river again this weekend. So I don't know, well, I don't know if I'll have any more sales. We're leaving tomorrow. But if I do, I'll probably just do a quick kind of scan of what I sold, and I won't be on camera. Anyways, I'll do some sort of outro, possibly with T-Bird if I don't have any more sales. And hopefully I'll get some more video to share with you of our camping and fishing trip. All right, I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Okay, I'm back. I just have one more sale to ship out today. I'm a little short on time, so I'm just doing an impromptu video here. I sold this North Face midi puffer coat, and it is one of their higher priced pieces. It was originally about $395. I sold it for $120, which I think is great. Let's see, I paid $30. I paid up for this, but it still left me with a profit of $166, so I think that is great. I am going to turn you around here and finish off the video. Okay, so pardon the angle here and if I'm not looking at the right spot, but it ended up being a pretty great week. I had $813 in sales. My total cost of goods was $101, which made my total profit for the week $535.64. Still below the $1,000 that I want to be at, but I am happier with my overall sales this week, and they seem to be on an upward trend, so that makes me really happy. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your guys' support. As always, if you're enjoying my videos, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below. I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching.